Today on episode 95, our Richard Dent episode of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, QB Carousel, our media recommendations, rewriting the rules, and a TCF top 3 of our non-sports related hobbies. Let's roll. Hello and welcome to episode 95 of Typical Chicago Fans. It's me, Boomy, on Twitter at BoomyTCF. Make sure to follow the main page at typical_Chicago. Head to Facebook, Instagram, type in Typical Chicago Fans to find us there, like those pages. Also, head on over to the YouTube page for all of our content in video form. Make sure you subscribe there. Subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, wherever you get podcasts. We are there. Make sure you follow us. But make sure to follow the guys that I am joined by tonight. That is Zach, of course, at Z Lilia TCF, and Maddie at schools_01. Today's episode is also brought to you by our friends over at 26shirts.com. Head over to their website, 26shirts.com/Chicago. Check out some of the coolest Chicago sports merchandise around, like the shirt I have right behind me. They got hats, hoodies, T-shirts, flags, whatever you need, they got them. Head on over to their website, find the product, couple products that you love, and at checkout, use a promo code Typical Chicago Fans for 15% off of your order. If you love the show, love great Chicago merch, love helping out good causes, head on over to 26shirts.com/Chicago and pick up some of those orders. Make sure to use the promo code Typical Chicago Fans for 15% off your order. Boys, episode 95, 100, right around the corner.
Yeah, not a great night, Boomy. Was all excited. It's the weekend. It's we're recording this on a Friday night. Going to be doing a golf simulator on Saturday. It's supposed to snow a little bit, so it might get a little snowed in. And then I was all set up for a nice little weekend, and then the Cardinals go and ruin it right before this show started. So I'm not in a great mood, though, Boomy. I'm sorry to start the show off like this, but I think it's the mood of a lot of Cub fans right now.
Yeah. We'll talk about it a little bit later, too. Yeah, obviously, big things happening.
I'm flustered. I'm flustered all around. All my sports teams flustering me.
Flustering. Maddie, how are you, my man?
That's a word.
Zach said it well. I'm pretty flustered in myself for a lot of the same reasons. It's just like, can't catch a break with some of our teams right now. So, it's, whatever. It is what it is.
Yep. Absolutely. Hopefully, brighter days are around, but not holding
Heels are starting to play a little better, boys. I just keep right on it. Don't want you to sleep on it. Don't want you to sleep on a team that's got 4 bigs. So just,
Well, and I also think, Matt, for your sakes, the NCAA is not going to let North Carolina not be in the NCAA tournament.
Oh, they're not in danger of that. Give me a break.
Right. So you don't have to worry. Even if you hit a little bit.
Kentucky, come on.
I still think one of those two teams, they're going to get in somehow.
I don't know how Kentucky's going to get in. Duke probably will. But
yeah, and like Kentucky probably has a more favorable schedule, but they're not going to let Duke not be in the NCAA tournament.
We know exactly why, too.
Exactly. Everybody knows why. But let's get to our first segment, as always, Sinkers and Floaters. We're going to switch it up a little bit. I will start off with my floater, and that is bad drivers, but a little bit of a twist that makes it a floater. A man had a very unlucky start to his day in Leland, North Carolina. He hit 2 deer in his brand new car. Kind of a rough start to your morning, but called it a day. He was in an accident on his way to work, and then he went home, went back to sleep, woke up, found out he won $2 million on the lottery. So maybe for those of us that are bad drivers, including myself, maybe there's a little silver lining to things. Maybe there's a little bit of, good juju going on in the world. So, sometimes maybe it pays to hit, 2 deer with your brand new car. You come out, hey, it's not a big deal. I got $2 million cash coming to me. So shout out to that guy.
You should press your luck on that one. See how it turns out.
Yeah, I'm taking 20,000 of that and go and buy 4 lottery tickets.
Yeah, right.
After I buy a new car, of course.
For sure.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, but imagine you buy a new car and then you're like back at the lot like 6 days later, and they're like, "What are you here for?" He's like, "I need a new car, but it's okay. I can get a much nicer one because not only do I have the insurance check coming, I also just won $2 million. No big
Yeah,
deal."
let me see your nicest cars, please.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want that used Honda Sonata that you had sitting over there, but this is the most expensive car you got on this lot because I got some coin in my pocket.
What would you probably win off of that? 1.5?
Yeah, probably one. It depends on the state, but probably 1.25,
Off of 2
1.5.
mil,
Yeah,
I'd say probably my guess would be 1.125 mil.
yeah.
Really?
Upwards of 50% will be poof.
That's crazy. My floater, Daniel Murphy, has retired.
Yes,
That's awesome.
Good news.
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
When he played against the Cubs in what was the NLCS?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, he had more home runs in that freaking series than he had all season. Then he at one point comes and plays for the Cubs and stinks.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Never liked the guy.
You want an unbelievable, so we don't need to get into how much of a douchebag he is, but unbelievable stat here. The man played in 26 playoff games. He safely reached base in 25 of 26.
I hate that stat.
That's crazy.
That is wild. 25 of 26. It's 24 or 25, but either way, it was like in the 90%. But yeah, I'm not a fan of him.
Yeah, see you, Daniel Murphy.
Don't like it. Bye-bye. Don't let the doorknob hit you.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's nuts. My floater, boys, is UFC. I think I might be becoming a UFC guy after last weekend.
Let's go.
Never
Been a
UFC. Never been a UFC guy. Watched last week's fight though. Obviously McGregor. I'm one of the guys that got suckered in. You know, you feel that there's a buzz to the what the hell's that? I'm
My
lost.
light just flickered.
I just see Boomy's head going like chasing a fly or something like that. No, I was watching the UFC though. Got into it because of McGregor. I was one of the suckers that buys into the hype. It's like you just kind of have to see what kind of what's this all about. Watched all of the pay-per-view portion. Watched some of the prelims as well. Michael Chandler, holy shit, that fight!
Yeah, that dude's a stud.
That guy, apparently it's his first fight in UFC, which I'm not. I don't know anything about any of this, but pretty electric entrance if you ask me.
Yes.
And amateur to the viewing, but
he destroyed Bellator and made his way to the UFC.
Now, is that like a tier below? Is that like a?
Yeah, it's like UFC's 1. I'd say Bellator is probably like 1B.
Got it.
And that's probably
Maddie. I'm with you on that, Maddie. That was fun to watch.
It was.
Maybe I'll watch a little more.
Some of the female fights were incredible. Like there's some really good female fights. Like I saw like what was the big one a few years ago. Went to the became an actress.
Ronda Rousey.
Saw some of her fights, years ago.
Wait, didn't she go to the WWE?
She's like these like people are the current females will just destroy her. It looks like.
Oh
in
yeah.
my opinion. Like she's nothing.
There's all those. I mean, there's just studs.
So yeah, I think I don't know. It's got an appeal. I like the way they're doing. The Fight Island concept is pretty neat. Where it's just like they're creating their own bubble. 3 or 4 days worth of fights, kind of like scheduled out. It kind of makes it a big event. Pretty cool. Dana White's obviously a really forward thinking guy and really interesting. Kind of businessman too. So
they do a great job with social media. I think you
know what? Like it's just they've got a pretty entertaining product. There's something about the buzz of a big fight night, and whether it's boxing, UFC, whatever it may be, and even like WrestleMania. If you're into wrestling, there's a buzz when those events are going on. Like if you're into those things. I was always big into like the big boxing matches growing up and stuff. My dad was a big boxing fan. I had some friends that were big boxing fans. So it's like, and I never got into UFC. I don't know if it was as a result of that, but you see something like this, it's just like it appeals you. It can draw in just the average Joe like me.
human cockfighting at its finest. It's fun to watch.
Really, it is. It's like you know, it's organized bum fights. Essentially, is like what it was on YouTube. You know, those were the best.
That's first bum fights reference I've heard in a long time. Best part about bum fights was when the guy that ran it went on Dr. Phil and dressed as Dr. Phil. You remember that?
No,
if you haven't seen that clip. So the guy that ran bum fights got invited to be on Dr. Phil's show because of like how horrible and deplorable it was, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty
and
bad.
He showed up and he shaved at the top of his head and put a fake mustache on so he looked exactly like Dr. Phil. And the clip is like 30 seconds because as soon as Dr. Phil got to the stage, he got very offended and kicked the guy off of his stage. It was hilarious. It's one of the best YouTube clips ever.
It really is, like, coming from someone too, though, like growing up on boxing, and you see the way these fights play out. It's so like all of a sudden you like guys are just like throwing punches, and all of a sudden the kick out of nowhere comes. Like you don't expect it when you're like used to like a boxing style fight.
Yes.
So you always get like taken by surprise a little bit when you're new to it, in my opinion. But very entertaining stuff, to say the least.
I agree. I'm a very casual. I'd say a little bit more than casual, actually, now that I think of it. I like the UFC a lot. There's just so many people and so many, different weight classes and stuff like that. It sometimes can be hard to follow, but like you said, when it's a main event, it is must-see TV.
I think you consider me casual fringe, fringe casual kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a good one to kind of dip your toe into, find some guys or girls
anything
you like.
And gamble on, too. I mean, it's always going to have an appeal. So let's not kid ourselves.
100%. Let's move into our sinkers. I'll start off with my sinker, and that is obviously the big story of the week, the stock exchange, everything that's happened this week. I'm not going to get deep into it, but what a wild, wild ride it's been. The Robinhood app is technically my big floater. Because of all that went on, they freeze trading on the GameStop, AMC, BlackBerry, Nokia, a couple other ones that this Reddit page is, they sniffed out a short, is it called a short sell or a short squeeze?
I want to piggyback, Boomy, because this is going to be mine as well. So let's just
incredible.
Just a big one here.
If you've got like 20 minutes, like do a little bit of because the story's wild. Basically, a couple million Reddit users screwed the big guys, the hedge funds, and took them for a couple trillion or billion dollars, and it's amazing. It's incredible to see.
From what I figured, or from what I've learned from it, is like apparently they found out where some of these hedge funds were extremely short on certain stocks. Mainly GameStop in this case, and it was that Melvin Capital was they were like everything they had was backed into shorting GameStop for a long stretch, and the Redditors found out, banded together. They all bought at the same time, drove the stock through the fucking roof.
Went from $4 to $344.
Right, and when you're shorting on a stock that's that cheap, and all of a sudden it's pushing in the couple hundreds, you're in big trouble. You have to take a $6 billion bailout. $19
billion is what one of the hedge funds was down.
That's bananas when you think about it. I mean, and you see, and I'm glad you brought this one up because it's a topic I could talk about for hours. It's an example, and I'm not even going to get into the politics side of all of it because there's whole other layers to the politicians that are involved in this too. But just on the surface of it, where you're seeing that the financial system is not played by the same set of rules for everybody. So you can start seeing where some of these coordinated attacks, like, I don't even want to say attacks. I shouldn't even use that word because I don't think that was an attack. I think it was giving a dose of the medicine that a lot of us have been, felt and handed to for years. And frankly, they didn't do anything outside of
no, it's publicly available information that you can look up with the most.
When you're a hedge fund, you have to report certain investments and in shorts especially. And hey, they've been making money on the backs of that for decades and decades and decades. So you know what? More power to them. I think the way Robinhood just restricted trading just to say nope, or they started forced selling for people is wildly insane. And I think that's borderline criminal.
Yes. I agree. And did you see the one kid that took out a second mortgage on his parents' house to buy GameStop?
I do want to call bullshit on that. That's not even remotely possible. So.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too. But like, I saw some dude bought like 30,000 shares. No, maybe it wasn't 30,000. Maybe like 13,000 shares at $4 a pop, and he turned it into like a couple $1 million. Like
that's those are the things that are kind of just awesome to me. Like like they were saying on Pardon My Take, like the class of millionaire that's going to spawn because of this, and there's going to be a small handful of people that may make a killing on this and are going to be set for their lives, but it is going to be dudes who like are not what you expect to be multimillionaires.
Yeah,
put it that way.
Reddit guys.
Yeah,
and
basically, and women.
Yeah. It's incredible. It's a win for the little guy. So, and obviously it's all over. But and also one other point I wanted to bring up on that, Robinhood just getting taken to the woodshed. You know, like Google Play had to stop the ability to give them a 1-star rating because within 2 hours, all of the users had given it a 1-star rating and drug it so far down it was like a 1.1 after 2 hours of all of this breaking. So I found that amusing as well.
That's good.
So Zach, that kind of qualifies for both of our sinkers. What is yours?
Well, my sinker is the Rockies.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
that's the other obvious one.
What are you doing? The Cubs got more in the Yu Darvish trade than the Cardinals had to give up in the Nolan Arenado trade. And I mean, they paid the Cardinals to take him.
Yeah.
I don't want to sell this short. Nolan Arenado, outside of Mike Trout, Mookie Betts, and maybe Cody Bellinger, maybe not even Bellinger.
Mm-hmm.
What more? That's about it. It's Trout, Betts, and Arenado. And the Cardinals got him for a win song, dude. It's nuts.
Yeah. Makes no sense to me. It makes no sense.
Him and Goldie together in the lineup, it's nuts.
We'll use that point to jump into the TCF Sports Minute. Obviously, the Cardinals add Nolan Arenado. As Matt said, Paul Goldschmidt on that team. I'll be honest, yes, it's frustrating to see one of the best hitters in the game come into the division. But at the same time, if you look at a completion of the roster, the Cardinals, they're going to be up there at the top. But does this move make them the best team in the division? I think you could argue, roster-wise, guy for guy. But, it is what it is. And today the Cubs add Jock Peterson to the outfield.
The same amount of money that they could have gotten Kyle Schwarber for, who's pretty much the same player.
They are literally the same hitter.
And I'm okay with the Jock Peterson signing. I like it. But
that means you're just making a move to make a move.
I don't understand where this team's going here. Like, what's the plan here? We're getting rid of you, Darvish.
Forward to take one back.
It's trying to win. Are we trying to lose? What's going on here?
Lateral move, half measure, however you want to put it.
Like I texted you guys earlier, I looked up player comps for Jock Peterson. Number one player comp, hitter comp, is Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah,
literally Schwarber to re-sign a different version of Kyle Schwarber. Now, I will give Jock Peterson this. I think he's a little bit better of an outfielder, but at the same time, do you accept that for what Kyle Schwarber's done for the city, what Kyle Schwarber's been in the city, what he's been for the fans? So what I want to know is how it took till the end of January to figure out you have money for this payroll. How is it a month away from spring training? And you realize, oh, wait, never mind. We can't spend the money. We didn't need to trade Darvish. We didn't need to let John Lester walk. We didn't need to let Kyle Schwarber walk. Why is this happening on January 29th and not November 29th, not October 29th, not December? Like, how is this taking so long? Because you shot yourself in the foot, and now you're going to have to go out and pick up a guy like Jake Arrieta or Jeff Samardzija, who I don't mind having to pick up, but now you're scrambling. Now you're in the kind of like, we got to figure out where we're at here with 3 weeks till spring training. It's frustrating because it's something that could have been prevented, obviously, because they know the money's there. I get it, the pandemic happened. I get it. But at the same time, like, figure it out. You're a billion-dollar company. Figure it out.
It feels like there's no plan. It makes no sense. Like, what was the plan here of the signing of Jack Peterson over Kyle Schwarber? Like, what was the point? And like, who are we gonna go sign? A guy just like John Lester for the same amount of money? Like,
Yeah.
what? It just makes no sense if we would just keep it in house. I don't know.
Yeah, it's poor planning, I think. And I might be wrong, and tell me if I am, but I just think it's poor planning by the ownership to now decide that, oh, wait, never mind. Hey, we do have some money. Let's bring Jake Arrieta in and watch him throw. Watch Jeff Samardzija throw. And like I said, I don't mind those deals. I would love to have Jake Arrieta back, and maybe we get a glimpse of that, 2015, 2016 Jake Arrieta, but I'm not counting on it. That's for sure. But, if the price is right, I don't mind those moves. But, like, you kind of back yourself into a corner with waiting this long. And that part is frustrating.
Completely agree.
It's just, I don't know. But, hey, on the positive side, I did hear that Jock Peterson turned down 1 year, $10 million from the White Sox to take 1 year, $7 million from the Cubs. So, hey, little silver lining there, fellas.
I don't really get that one, but
I don't care.
Yeah. Well, let's move on.
Frustrating. I'm just annoyed. I'm just really annoyed that the Cubs are just not going to be remotely what they should be.
This seems like
they could have a much better roster if the front office was doing things in a much more efficient way. And
Matt,
it's
tell me
irritating
if I'm off on this, but this seems like a Jim Henry era move.
Yeah, it's very Tribune Company like.
Yes,
very Tribune Company like. It's patchwork moves at inopportune times, and it's like, yeah, hey, we got money available after everybody's gone, because it's not like they're gonna go get Trevor Bauer. It's not like they're gonna spend the money there, and I'm not saying they should or shouldn't, but whatever. The Ricketts put money into the organization. They put money in the stadium. The team got the World Series, and the fans did their part. As we spent a shit ton of money there.
It is the highest dollar day at a ballpark in Major League Baseball. I saw that.
So I would say the fans have done their part too. So now to say, well, we don't got the scratch. Sorry, boys. And girls. So whatever. Give me a break.
Well, let's move on to another huge acquisition for a Chicago team. The Chicago Sky have acquired Candace Parker from the LA Sparks, bringing the home. I guess not really hometown. She's from Naperville, but close enough, right? So you guys gonna watch some Sky games now that we got Candace Parker?
Oh yeah, she only has played for the Sparks, right?
Yep. She got drafted 1 overall. I actually saw Candace Parker play in high school, Naperville Central. She was the best female basketball player I think I've ever seen in high school game. But kind of cool. I mean, a little bit of, obviously there's no fans, but when they do get back, maybe a couple sellouts at Allstate Arena or wherever they play in Rosemont. But yeah, I mean, good news. It's always good for the city to have, and apparently the NWSL team in Chicago is really good too. I think it's the Red Stars is their name. So, hey, our mainstream quote unquote teams might not be good, but hey, maybe check out some Sky games or some Red Stars games. I'm excited. I think Candace is a very good NBA or WNBA player. And it's really, I mean, she's been in the league now, 10 plus years. Kind of a household name.
Basketball legend.
Yes,
Illinois
absolutely.
Basketball legend. No questions asked. She's without question the best Illinois female basketball player of all time.
I agree. And definitely when you bring up women's professional basketball, you might get Brittany Griner, Diana Taurasi. But Candace Parker's
she's on the roster. She's on the team. She's on the all-time team, regardless. She could dunk. She could shoot. She's a great scorer, great defender. I mean, come on.
Tough as nails. I like it, bringing that little hometown flair, bringing that in. But let's talk. The Bulls had a weird week. They had a game canceled Wednesday because the Memphis Grizzlies love COVID. They love getting it so much, apparently. They've had like 6 games canceled. But not a great showing on Monday with an average Celtics team. But big news with the Bulls. They have said they are not interested in trading Zach LaVine. Do you guys think that is the right move for the Bulls front office right now?
I guess. I mean, I really wasn't expecting them to trade him right now. So, I mean, that was just kind of whatever. I mean, he's playing really well. This team is improving. Like I said, 2 tough losses against the Lakers and the Celtics, but you get probably 5 days off here. You're back on Saturday. So I don't know. I think that maybe the break will hopefully do them well, and hopefully with a coach like Billy Donovan, that you can kind of, like, in these few days here, you can kind of look back at what you kind of had problems with on Monday and Saturday and really learn from them, unlike last year.
Yeah. And to be honest, I mean, their struggles, like we've talked about, they're 2 losses in the last week, but they're still a half game out of the 8th seed. And here's my worry: if they were to decide to trade Zach LaVine, which I don't necessarily want to throw away, because I think you never want to say, I'm not interested. I think you should always be interested in trading someone if someone's going to put a package together that's good enough. But right now, Zach LaVine is your most consistent scorer, and he's your highest scorer. You take him off this roster, you may destroy some of that rapport, some of that rhythm that you've helped build up for the first 17, 18 games of the season. That does worry me a little bit. But if you're going to get the right package at the right time and find that it's an acceptable move for where you're at right now in this rebuild, then I'm okay with it. But I do worry when we're talking about the culture, quote unquote, that they've built over the last, whatever it is, 6 months since Billy Donovan got hired and all that. I do worry about that just a little bit, because without him, I just don't know who's going to put the ball in the basket.
You are not wrong there.
Maddie, anything on the Bulls?
I don't think you guys are wrong at all. I'm still just not at the point where LaVine is just like the guy that just gets me. I don't know. I just want a little more. I don't know.
With you.
He doesn't get you going, Maddie?
No, he's a really, obviously he's a ridiculously good scorer.
Yeah.
But is he a ridiculously good scorer because there's not a ton of other ball-dominant players on that team? Kobe White doesn't need the ball to be to be productive. Obviously, Patrick Williams doesn't need the ball to be productive, and Markkanen probably needs to be. I think he's probably the biggest, candidate for aggression because of LaVine, because it's just he's not gonna get his shots, and that's all Markkanen really is. He's not gonna kill you inside or anything. So, Wendell Carter being hurt, it stinks. So it's just, I don't know. It's the goodwill of watching an entertaining team, and I know I've been saying it, so that's all I wanted was to be able to have something that was enjoyable to watch. Kind of want a little more now. I'm being a little greedy, probably. Yeah. And I'd
Well, we've been deprived for so long.
That's yeah. So it's, I don't know. Obviously, the trend is up. I'd be buying stock right now in this team. You know what I mean?
Don't do it through Robinhood app.
Yeah, they'll jack your.
You'll never get your money.
They'll force you to sell before they make the Eastern Conference Finals.
Exactly. But on another side, the Blackhawks. I didn't see a final. Did the Blackhawks end up losing tonight?
Yes, they did 2-1. They shouldn't have. Lankinen was outstanding.
They also shouldn't have lost the game before in the shootout, which they scored no goals in.
They shouldn't have gotten rid of all of their good players and extended expensively all of their bad players.
Shouldn't have let Kirby Dack go play in that league that he got hurt in.
Shouldn't have re-signed Jeremy Colleton and extended Stan Bowman and yada, yada, yada. Frustrating organization right now.
We could go on forever. They have the Blue Jackets on Sunday again. I kind of like this. Getting teams back to back.
I love it.
At first, I didn't think I was going to, but you watch them one night, and then you're like, okay, if they shore, obviously it'd be different if your team was competitive. But with the Blackhawks, even it's like, okay, well, we did really poorly with this on game one. If we shore this up, maybe we can. Obviously, like I said, if this was a team, any other team than the Blackhawks, it'd probably be a different way to look at it, just because they could come out and blow someone's doors off in game one and then get their doors blown off in game 2. But it is a cool concept. I like where it's going.
I say bring this kind of scheduling everywhere. Like
I
baseball does
don't
it.
disagree at all. At all. Boys, got anything else to add for the Sports Minute?
No, not really.
Yeah, it's kind of a sad topic nowadays, at least for the Chicago fans.
Let's get to the QB carousel, Booby.
All
I'm
right,
excited.
so here we go. The biggest news in the last week has been how many quarterbacks are going to change teams, how many are going to stay. I believe Adam Schefter maybe it might have said that it could be as many as 18 quarterbacks change teams this year, which there's no way that the number is going to be that high. But I've compiled a list of 15 quarterbacks that I want to run through real quick. And Zach and Matt are going to tell me who they think that they're going to be, what team they're going to be on next year. They might not necessarily be the starter, but who they're going to end up on. I might chime in for a few here, but let's get it started, of course. Mitchell Trubisky. Where do you guys think Mitchell Trubisky will be attempting to quarterback either a starting position, backup? Where will he be next year?
The Carolina Panthers?
I'm coming home. I'm coming home.
I didn't even think about that.
That's a good. I don't mind that call. I have them lined up for somebody else, but I don't hate that one. Mine for Mitch is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Fighting for a starting position for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Him and Mason, and
maybe somebody else on the list you sent us.
All right. Well, we'll get. I personally, this is not a slight. I think Mitch will be back in Chicago. I don't. Unless they can make a trade for one of the other guys that might be on this list that I'll talk about later. But if I had to bet money on it, I would bet he's in Chicago. Aaron Rodgers, I obviously think Aaron Rodgers will be back in Green Bay. Do you guys think Aaron Rodgers will be the quarterback anywhere else next season?
I have to say Green Bay, probably.
Yeah. Maddie?
Yep, Green Bay.
All righty. I think we're all consensus there. All right. Here's another one. In the division, Matthew Stafford. They have agreed to part ways. Where will Matthew Stafford be in the 2021 campaign?
I'm going to say Miami.
Ooh.
I'm going to have to go with Maddie.
No, I'm going to take that back. I'm sorry. I thought of a different one, and I forgot I changed my opinion. I didn't put this on my notes. Stafford, I have going to New England.
I like Dolphins.
Interesting.
I like Dolphins.
I don't know why I like this. I did see this online while I was doing just a touch of research. The Rams are exploring trade options for Matthew Stafford. I think he'd be a good fit in that they have a good offense, obviously a great defense. I could in LA.
I like
him shine.
Dolphins though because Tua could learn from him.
Definitely. And they have, and he's definitely going to want to go to a place that has a shot at going to the playoffs. And I think.
But is it his choice?
I think they're going to probably do him a little bit of a favor. He's been there for 15 years. He's given them all they have. He kind of is. I think it's going to get a little bit of a say in where he gets traded to. And the last NFC North, Kirk Cousins, the last NFC North quarterback on my list. Where is Kirk Cousins going to be the quarterback?
The Vikings, because who else would want him?
Yeah,
contract?
I don't think he's going anywhere this year. I think he's got one more year there.
I kind of think so too. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they bring in, someone to sit behind him. But like you said, that contract and who else, wants to bring that in. All right, let's start with the big one outside of the NFC. Deshaun Watson. Where is Deshaun Watson going? Because he wants nothing to do with Houston. And after seeing that press conference today, that is totally understandable. They came out and read a pre-written statement about not wanting to trade him, and then they just walked it off, didn't take any questions. So where's Deshaun Watson going?
The Chicago Bears.
Whoa. I'll take it. I'd like it. I don't think that's going to happen. I got Miami.
I don't know. What's so funny?
It's not going to happen.
It could happen. You just made it seem like they could trade for him.
I think he's going to the Jets. I don't know why. I don't have a rhyme or a reason for this, but I think he might go to the Jets.
I got Miami.
It's more of a betting wise. It's more of a possibility than the Bears.
Good for you and your stupid betting. Come on, what?
I'm just going off the odds.
Oh, just bring up the odds here.
All right, Matt Ryan, Matty Ice. Where is Matt Ryan going in 2021?
That's who I have coming to Chicago.
Oh, I don't hate
How? Is he a free agent?
No, I think he's gonna get cut.
Yeah.
Really? You think that they would do that?
Yeah.
I think new regime. I don't think he fits Arthur Smith's offense a little bit. I think they're gonna go totally new direction there. So yeah, I think Matt Ryan's gonna be available. I think it's exactly what a bailout Hail Mary move a GM and head coach on the way out need is a veteran quarterback that might have a little bit left in the tank.
I don't hate that at all.
I prefer Stafford. If the Bears, I don't think they could get him in the division. That's the only reason. I think Stafford is an ideal fit for the Bears. I think Stafford would be outstanding with the Bears, but I don't think he's going to make.
I'll give you mine real quick, Zach. Before Denver Broncos. I don't really have a rhyme or a reason, but it feels like it'd be a good place to be a quarterback, right off the tails. And to be honest, one of the biggest reasons is Denver doesn't really have a quarterback. Drew Lock is kind of proven he's not that good.
You just got some good dance moves on the side.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. I like the kid a lot. He's just not a good quarterback, but. Maybe they bring in Matt Ryan to let Drew Lock learn one more year and then give it another shot in 2022. I don't know, but I like your logic for bringing Matty Ice to Chicago. Zach, what do you think?
I said Falcons. I think he'll stay with the Falcons.
He's staying. All right. Cam Newton.
Retired, maybe?
I don't know that Cam Newton.
I'm more with that way.
I don't see him taking a backup role, and I just don't know that anybody's going to commit to him to be a starter. I could see him in Pittsburgh too. That's another guy who I could see going to Pittsburgh.
That was kind of one of the ways I was leaning, but I think whatever is going to happen, I think it's going to be late. He's going to be another late signing, and he's going to have to accept the fact that he's going to have to take a backup role. And to that, I can't really give a great, maybe like a backup in Houston, or one of these places where they bring in a rookie quarterback, and especially if it's a mobile type quarterback, learn from him a little bit. I don't get a read off of Cam Newton. Maybe he'll be Aaron Rodgers' backup. I don't know. You can't get a read off of Cam Newton at all right now. I definitely can bet on one thing. I don't think he will be back in New England.
I think personally he's a perfect fit in Cincy as a backup Joe Burrow if Burrow's not ready to roll.
I don't hate that. If he can accept the backup role, his options open up a lot.
I don't know if he will or not, but I think like that kind of spot where you don't know if Burrow's going to be ready right off the bat.
Mm-hmm. Very good point. Let's move on. Jimmy Garoppolo, and I'll give you mine real quick. I think maybe the Bears. Little Eastern Illinois connection. He's from Downer. Is it not Downers Grove? Rolling Meadows. There's a little bit of a connection there. I don't hate that fit.
I just don't see him leaving the 49ers after. I don't know. I feel like they still want to give it another try with this team.
I also saw that one of the reasons he could be on the move is if they land Matt Ryan, they would have to move him. Obviously, these are all just hypotheticals, but if they were to have to pick, I think Jimmy G would be a solid fit for the Bears. I don't know. You guys tell me I'm crazy, but
I don't want anything to do with him.
No, that's understandable.
If Kyle Shanahan can't use him, I don't know that Matt Nagy can. Let's put it that way.
Where do you guys think Jimmy's going to end up?
I think the 49ers.
Okay, Matt?
I think Zach is probably right. I think it's 49ers for him. The other one that I could see could possibly Carolina interests me for some reason, I think. And then I also think Atlanta maybe.
Okay. Jameis Winston.
Probably still with the
Staying in New
Saints.
Orleans.
I think Zach's right.
He could
I
play.
think Zach's right. Yeah, I think Peyton is a little bit excited about having a guy with a cannon.
Yeah. Especially
that he's
I
not
think
tethered to. He's not tethered to long term. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know, and you go
yeah,
from there.
and I think we're all kind of agreeing that, and I might be wrong, and tell me if I am. Did Drew Brees officially retire yet?
No.
I didn't. Okay. I'm assuming Drew Brees is hanging him up, but if that's the case, you stay in New Orleans, you compete with Taysom Hill for the starting spot. If they start slow, without Drew Brees, which is very plausible, then they make a switch early. They go to Jameis. I think I would say that he's probably going to stay in New Orleans as well. I think we're all consensus there. Sam Darnold.
I honestly think I know I keep doing this. The Jets, I think that they're gonna give him a chance. I think that the new coach, with a new offense, you really don't know what this guy has.
Yeah.
I mean, he's never gotten a fair shake.
I'm going to say the Houston Texans because I think I have to stick with my Deshaun Watson pick. I think there's going to be something involved with Sam Darnold in that. If that deal does go through, it would have to involve him. So I'm going to say Sam Darnold will be in Houston.
I think Darnold's going back to L.A. I think he's going to go to the Rams.
Wow. I like that.
I think it's a good fit. I think McVay would have a field day with a guy like Darnold. Because he's everything Jared Goff should be.
Yes.
Like, Jared Goff should be a good athlete. Jared Goff should have he's got a good arm. He's like, what is Goff not doing? You know what I mean? I think it's a low risk move. I don't think the Rams are in a position to get
Darnold's proven on that point, though.
No, I agree.
You have to take into effect that he's played for the Jets.
I understand that, but you have Jared Goff.
I think it's a team that can't get like one of the top they're not going to get a top draft pick this year. So they've got to try to get younger at the quarterback position and maybe take a little bit more upside. And I don't know. I think it's with a gamble. It doesn't seem like McVay's big on Goff all of a sudden. Seems like he's
but I feel like you might just be getting the same thing.
Very well could. Very well could.
All right, let's move on.
I'm just throwing some shit out, dude.
No, I don't hate that.
I'm just saying that's pretty much they could end up being the same player.
Just have the same guy, yeah.
Definitely.
It's very, very plausible. How about Tua?
I gotta go with Texans because I said you had Watson to the Jets. I had Watson to the Dolphins, so I'm gonna go Tua to the Texans.
Here's my wild one. Detroit.
That was a dark horse for me.
I saw the Jets too.
I saw an interesting move to the Bears for him in a 3-way deal with Watson going to where the hell was it? Watson, I forgot where they had Watson going, somewhere crazy. But Tua going to the Bears was the ultimate. It was a three-way deal.
Like that if the Bears acquired Tua?
Might as well.
Kind of low risk, high reward.
Yeah.
Depending on what you had to give up, obviously.
Any quarterback.
Yeah.
Zach, where do you think Tua's going?
The Jets.
The Jets. All right. I don't hate that either.
Like the Dolphins
guys back up. Nick
want some draft picks.
Oh, definitely. Nick Foles. Where's Nick Foles going next year?
Retirement?
Hopefully.
Honestly, I don't know why he'd want to do that again.
I think he's going back to Philly to be a Jalen Hurts' backup.
I don't know. I don't think there's much to it.
Because my next one, Carson Wentz.
I got Indy.
He'd be in Detroit.
Damn it, Matt. I was going to say Indy.
I say Detroit.
Right.
Yep. Detroit. I like that.
Detroit's interesting, too. Detroit's another interesting play for him. Because it's another guy, they've got good weapons. I think Wentz would flourish in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he'd flourish in Indy. I mean, they got a pretty solid team there.
Good running attack, and Frank Reich being his old OC. Obviously, the connection there.
It just seems like another quarterback for the Colts, like with Phillip Rivers. Like it's just you want the quarterback to be good. You got a good name on the quarterback, but they're just not. They're not good when you want them to be good.
Yeah. And then the last one, Big Ben. Is Big Ben – basically this question boils down. Is Big Ben going to retire, or do you think Big Ben's coming back?
I'd assume
He's got to retire.
All right. We're all on the same page.
I feel like these guys are waiting until after the Super Bowl to do that.
Yeah, I think so too. Let us know your takes, where you think these quarterbacks are going. There's obviously some we didn't. We probably even could have narrowed this list down to 10, but I think it's going to be probably the most quarterbacks we've seen on a move in one offseason in our lives. I don't think we're going to get to 18, but it's definitely we're in tune for a crazy offseason, especially as far as quarterbacks moving. So let's move on to our media recommendations. If you don't know what this is, we'll throw out our whether it's a movie, a TV show, podcast, video game, YouTube, whatever it is, our media recommendations for the week. Zach, lead us off.
It's an old movie, but I think it just got onto Netflix. Maybe it's been on there for a while. Catch Me If You Can. Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hanks. Great movie. It's a little long. I think it's like over 2 hours. Awesome movie, though. Awesome movie.
Those two are two of my top 10 actors of all time. You can't go wrong. 2002, man. That movie just to me just screams like TNT or TBS because that movie always seems on cable TV. But it's
something
great.
You'll fall asleep like watching like the TNT game and then wake up and that movie's on the middle of the night.
Is that the Frank Abagnale one?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Good choice, Zach. Maddie, what do you got for us?
I'm gonna go with the Action Network. They've got a couple podcasts for gamblers out there that are really entertaining, really good info. Any of the ones with Stuckey and Colin Wilson, they both do a college football and a college basketball show. Both those guys are really good podcasts, really entertaining, and give you a ton of good info, in my opinion. So that's what I've been getting into is their stuff.
Awesome. The good stuff, especially if you want to become a good gambler, which I probably need to take a listen because I've been cold as ice lately. So I will take that recommendation.
Give both of them a follow on Twitter too. They both tweet out a lot of good entertaining stuff about gambling as well. Stuckey and Colin Wilson from the Action Network.
I think I do follow Stuckey. That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's Stuckey too is his Twitter.
Yep, I definitely do follow. I know who you're talking about. Good stuff. He's a good follow on Twitter for sure. I've talked about this a million times. I've been on kind of this movie conquest for the last 10 months. I'm at 175 movies, and I got 3 that I've watched recently. One is Donnie Brasco, Pacino, and Johnny Depp. It's a real story about an FBI informant. Great movie. Check that out. The Truman Show. Great movie. It was a weird movie, super weird movie, but like very 90s. Jim Carrey, can't go wrong in there. And then I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. This is one of my most underrated films of all time. And I had seen this before, but I rewatched it recently. It's Kurt Russell in this movie called Breakdown. And it's not like, I don't know why I like it so much. It's a typical like early 90s action movie. Guy and his wife, their car breaks down in the middle of the desert. She gets kidnapped. He's got to find her. I don't know what it is. It's just a good movie. And I think it's super underrated. So make sure you watch it. It's on Amazon Prime. Let me know how bad of a take that is or if you like it. But I love it.
I'm not trying to be mean here in any way, honestly.
No, don't give me this. I'm not trying to be mean. Just be mean and let's move
How
along.
Many hours have you wasted on movies?
Dude, okay, so in the last 10 months, I've watched 170.
I want to know.
Dude, you'd have to like sit down and do some serious math because I watched 175 movies. I've watched at least I've watched 38 comedy stand-up specials, and I've watched at least one series of 48 TV shows. So we're talking like awesome. Probably 1,000 hours in the last 10 years. Or in the last 10 months, I'm sorry.
Are they most of them on your phone?
No, I mean, I watch them, all over. Like I watch movies and I'm at the gym and stuff, and
Shout
kind
out
of
to
here at the
That
house,
would
kind of
just
all
be
over the place.
something interesting. Like you keep records of a lot of things you do. I think you should try and figure
Now I'm
that
gonna
out.
thanks for planting that bug in my head. Now I'm gonna have to go look up the running time of all these movies and add them up and figure out how long.
I love it.
I don't even want to know because it's got to be like
At
I
least
said,
the ones that
155
you've watched
movies.
through quarantine.
Yeah.
All right, quick pop quiz. TCF top 3 best movie time snacks. Go.
Movie time snacks. Are we talking in a theater or at home?
Tomato. Go.
Sour gummy worm.
Great choice.
Popcorn. Obvious.
Yeah, that's.
Sorry. Doesn't matter. Home or theater, both awesome. Theater's way better.
Butterfinger BBs.
Butterfinger BBs
The
are
only
good.
place you could find them was at the movie theaters, I feel like.
Milk Duds are good, too. For
Coke Icy. Coke Icy.
Peanut
Coca-Cola
butter
Icy
M&Ms.
is good.
Peanut butter M&Ms and a popcorn are good, too, by the way.
You got to do that. Here's a question. All right, do you guys know those little like chocolate covered cookie dough bites? Did you guys like those or no?
You know what, Booby? You strike me
Cookie
as a
dough,
guy.
anything. Cookie dough, anything. I like.
Bottle caps?
Snow caps.
Snow caps, as I said.
Snow caps suck.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Bottle caps. Give me the $1 box of bottle caps.
No. Let's move on Let's move on.
We could go deep in the snacks for movies. It's a whole different game when you watch them at home because you can eat chips. You could be as loud as you want. It doesn't matter. But good.
No one's been to the movie theater in a while.
Just wait till everything rebounds. And AMC, there's an AMC on every block now because of the Reddit stock boys are going crazy.
That's crazy.
Moving to rewriting. Yeah, I don't know how they picked these, but it is what it is. Rewriting the rules. I'm going to give you one. I'm going to give you what mine is, and then I'll give you what I originally wanted to until my wife told me I'm an idiot. But in the game of football, everybody loves scoring. Everybody, it's the new craze. I want more scoring. The offense gets one extra guy. But to make it even, there's a designated player on the defense that gets to be the quote-unquote two-hand touch guy. And any guy with the ball that he two-hand touches, he doesn't have to tackle. Now, here was my original idea. My wife told me I was a moron. Instead of the two-hand touch guy, they get one guy who gets a weapon of their choice.
Well, yeah, that's crazy.
But it would be entertaining as hell.
But very dangerous, Boomy.
Just like a cornerback out there with a base. Like,
yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, was it, who was it?
Josh Norman? The rules they're putting in football right now. The rules they're putting in football right now, they're going to allow weapons.
I'm just saying, you want more eyes, you give a defensive end brass knuckles.
No.
But I like that one extra guy on offense.
You know what? I'm just going to change the whole sport of soccer here, boys. I'm going to do it right now. Handballs, allow them. You know how awesome you see, like, you punch the soccer ball in off of, like, a corner kick?
I don't hate that.
Yeah.
I don't. Or even if you want to.
I've just changed the whole sport, yes, but I don't care. It needs to be more exciting anyways.
Or even if you want to designate, like, each team gets 5 handballs a game.
Yes, that's better. That's better. You get 5 a game. And there's, like, a tracker that keeps track of you get
it's
5.
It's got, like, a sensitivity thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no. It's ref. The ref sees it.
We got VAR now. We can't count on refs for anything.
Well, aren't they pretty much, like, told...
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
The calls in there because they have like a headset on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just changed soccer.
Maddie, what do you got for us?
I think I got a good one here, boys. In basketball, we got a problem with fouling out. It sucks when a guy, especially in college, you get 5 fouls and you're gone. That's bullshit. I think fouling out is completely antiquated.
Are you going unlimited fouls here?
No. So what I want, instead of fouling out, I want what hockey does. Give me a 1-minute power play, 5-on-4.
I like that.
Ooh. Maddie, you're thinking
1 minute, you don't go
introducing
two. And
weapons into football.
you know how hockey is. Once they score, the power play is done as long as it's a 2-minute minor. That obviously goes away with basketball, but straight 1 minute, 5-on-4. You probably get 2 possessions. Get your 4 points that way. Let's go. That way you got guys that are you're still facing the best players. Teams don't want to foul. You're going to have to tweak it come late game situations for free throws and things like that. But I don't know. I think we might be needing to tweak things up a little bit.
I like this a lot. I may be borrowing this for playing in the future.
It'd be a hell of a drill for coaching, at least.
You
know, instead of shooting free throws, because you're doing that like probably in between each drill, most likely shooting free throws. So hey, get the hell off. Let's run a 5-on-4 now. Let's go. Defend the 5. Defend the 5. Let's go.
Yeah, Matt, you made me feel really dumb because my idea was very stupid, and then you come in with a genius idea like that. I got Matt fixing late game basketball. I got Zach fixing the whole sport of soccer, and I'm introducing brass knuckles to different things.
Maybe we should bring a weapon.
Let's just say your wife was right.
I don't disagree. It does make it entertaining.
Every sport is more entertaining when you introduce weapons into it. Let's move into our last segment, the TCF Top 3. We've talked about sports kind of getting a little slower lately, especially with our 2 main teams in Chicago, the Bulls and the Blackhawks, not faring very well. So we've got to find some time to kill. So it's the TCF Top 3 of non-sports related hobbies. Does anybody want to go first?
Yes.
I'll go first. Oh,
Zach, no, you go.
If it wasn't for watching sports, I'd be playing video games all the time.
Yep.
It's a good one.
I love playing
But in that case, you're not talking about sports video games.
No, I also do like I've played like Skyrim and stuff like that. I wouldn't mind playing like what are those games called?
Fantasy games.
No,
the shooters, first person shooters.
Kind of, yeah.
COD.
I guess now you say it, it probably is a lot of sports games you'd be playing, but I still don't think that's sports related in a way. You're playing.
I'm with you because like we love a good Grand Theft Auto step or something along those lines. Not a bad choice, Maddie.
Well, we can't do it right now, obviously, but casino trips.
Oh,
I like a good daytime trip to the boat.
That is amazing.
Good choice. This whole segment has made me realize how sad kind of my life is because even my non-sports related hobbies are related to sports.
Yeah, because it's video games.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna. Matt's gonna make fun of me. I'll just get it out of the way. Lifting weights. I enjoy it. Yeah, I enjoy it. It's a stress relief. I like it. I like having the routine. I
respect it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm a meatball. I don't care.
Hey, I love a good meatball, man. Meatballs are good.
A little Swedish meatball. You could even go, the little
Italian style.
I'm getting off course here. Like even some of my collecting hobbies are sport. Like collecting sports jerseys is a hobby.
I got one for you.
What's that?
You like grilling out?
I actually thank you.
My next one is going to be cooking.
Because I have that on my list. I got a whatever they're called. Flat top grill this year. I've even had an indoor grill. I like cooking. I like grilling. So yeah, I'll go with that. I've been, I've even worked on. This doesn't really count as grilling, but did a steak in the air fryer a couple weeks ago. Not bad.
I use the air fryer.
Emerald Lagasse over here.
What?
What'd you say?
What did you say?
I said they call me Emerald Lagasse over here. I did salmon and steak in the air fryer.
Oh, fancy. Fancy.
To say, Matt, I think you're up.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna go cooking. That's an easy one. But I guess I can pivot from there and go with. I don't know. I drew.
I don't know. Drinking.
I thought cooking was gonna be an
I'll
easy
take
one
grilling.
for me to
You can have cooking. You definitely cook more than I do. Like you use an oven and stuff. Like I just
guys, can I say this about us? This top 3 has really shown us how sad our lives are. And I don't mean that in a bad way for anybody. But
like, we're having this much of a struggle to come up with non-sports related hobbies.
This shows you what happened to our lives when sports was taken out of it.
This seems like the beginning of a bad episode of Intervention. Like,
you know what? One of the things on my list was watching documentaries.
Oh my god, I actually had that down too.
Yeah. Documentaries.
I do like a good
fucking sports
good one.
So yes, I agree. Our existence on this planet right now is pretty pathetic.
Yeah,
but I don't hate it. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not complaining.
I am's what I am.
I guess mine would be like this. I know it's related to sports, but podcasting, editing, stuff like that. I like doing that.
Yep. You got a 3rd round pick, Zach? That's a good 2nd rounder.
Yeah. Not really. I don't know. Like.
Oh, Zach, I got one for you. You're getting back into it. Now, that's still sports related. Let's say card collecting.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that too. You know what? I'm just going to say card collecting.
There you go. Matt, you got a 3rd rounder?
Nope.
Matt forfeits his pick. Right, so I'll take my 3rd round pick, but I'll also run. This is some biking. Do people do that? Is that a hobby?
Like a sport, Boomy?
No, it's not. I'm not competing.
You ever heard of the Tour de France?
I'm not fighting in the Tour de France.
Okay, I understand that, but I'm not playing softball in the World Series of softball. But I can't. I couldn't say it.
I retract it. I'm going to take yoga. I like
yoga. Big yoga guy.
I'm a big tree now.
We do saying biking.
We do
not
a family yoga class on the Peloton.
No, it's not.
Peloton app.
Yes, it is. It's a sport
if you're racing someone.
Yeah, that goes for a lot of things.
Biking is not a sport.
I think it is.
It's an exercise activity. I also had like shooting my crossbow and guns that
is scary.
I'm a great shot.
Maddie's just over here.
Showed off my yoga skills, dude.
Maddie, we can tell you've been working, man. I see the limber.
My flexibility is at an all-time high right now, boys.
Like you said, to sum up this whole thing, we depend on sports a lot.
Yeah.
Way too
much. Let's avoid these pandemics going forward.
Everybody wear a mask because we don't want to have to go back to our boring
You see how pathetic we are?
Hobby.
Do you see how pathetic this triumvirate is?
Oh, I forgot movies. Apparently, I love
watching
sports movies. 175 of them. And a lot of them are sports related.
Yeah. I was going to say.
Man, we should have done this first because now I feel bad about myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming up on Sunday night, we're going to go through World War I.
Guys, trench warfare was insane.
Yeah. We're going to discuss.
Let me tell you about trench foot.
We kind of set ourselves up there.
Discuss the Austrians' plan of attack in World War I with the Euro front.
Oh, idiots! No, I'm just kidding.
We didn't mean to, but we set ourselves up.
Yeah,
and I do enjoy this is God. I'm such a for this, but like history YouTube videos. They like get into like the color, even like World War II in color, stuff like that.
Color,
history. It's crazy.
We're just trying to make it seem like we don't just. I think Boomy's just starting to make stuff up because he wants to be like, I mean, I don't depend on sports for everything.
But here's what happens. I get on YouTube and I want to watch something history related. I'll watch like 18 minutes or something. And then in the sidebar where it recommends videos, it's like the top 10 biggest screw ups in Super Bowl history. I'm like, well, now I have to watch that. And then next thing you know, you're 2 hours down a YouTube rabbit hole.
I'm always watching like old NBA fights.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great one.
Always.
Was it Rudy Tomjanovich just gets blasted in the face by Kermit Washington? God, I watched another one. Kareem punched some scrawny white guy right in the face. Yeah, just punched him right in the face. Those are great.
McHale was awesome, dude. That dude was a stud. If we want to talk about 80s NBA, I'll talk about 80s NBA all day long. Talk about some brawlers there.
Maybe we'll do that for the next TCF Top 3 best fights in sports, because this TCF Top 3 just proved that we're idiots and we don't know much else.
We're complete and utter meatheads, so thank you for still listening to this point.
I'll have to do some research because I wasn't alive. I was waiting for some response.
Well, everybody, that was episode.
That's like, I don't want to see this guy's face anymore.
Cut it.
You just see Matt Schofield has left the video.
Yeah.
He's going to come
bullshit.
Give you a little Kermit Washington pop on the face. Anyway, that was episode 95. Thank you to our sponsors, 26.
That's how old I am.
95. Anywho, Zach, were you born in 95?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
I'm out. Fuck this shit. Finish it without me.
Yeah, he's leaving.
Thank you to our sponsors, 26 Shirts.
Right here.
That's got a shirt. I've got one here, 26shirts.com/Chicago. Use promo code Typical Chicago Fans for 15% off your order. They help good causes. They make great clothes. They help out the podcast. It's a win-win-win. 26shirts.com/Chicago. Promo code Typical Chicago Fans. Make sure that you go find us on with Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcast, might be on Amazon Podcast. I don't know. I got to figure that out. Anywhere you get podcasts, we're there. Make sure you follow us along there. Head over to the YouTube page. Subscribe to that for all of our content in video form. Give that page a subscribe. Head to Facebook and Instagram. Type in Typical Chicago Fans. Follow us on those. And make sure you follow the Twitter main page at Typical_Chicago. Follow Zach at TCF, Matt at School_01. Make sure you follow me at Boomy TCF. That was episode 95, the Richard Dent episode of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.
Yep.